Hey everyone, Paul Gale Network here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into the last 3 days of Indie Mania. The show is over now, but the fun is yet to begin. I really hope that you enjoyed the product. I want to say thank you so much for your time. And speaking of thanks, that's really what this video is about. So it might be a little long because I want to cover as many people, names, companies, etc. as possible and give them a little bit of a special shout out. And that special shout out / thanks begins with, of course, Mike Odyssey, the show's creator. You know, Mike came up with the idea for Indie Mania around 3 years ago as he wanted to produce in some capacity an online show that would pay tribute, that would respect the independent developers that put in a lot of hard work and effort into their games that may not otherwise have that opportunity to shine. And when Mike approached me, after knowing each other for a while and being a part of his Nintopics podcast, hey, Paul, would you like to be a co-host for Indie Mania? And I said yes. For the last year plus, we have been working as a team nonstop in acquiring developers and partnerships with promotional companies and so much more behind the scenes that maybe one day we will discuss and share more on a podcast, but it's really been a blast. So thank you, Mike, for your friendship, for creating this event, for having me join you and producing as best of a product as possible. And I have to go next on the list. Special thanks to Per Schneider for your years of friendship, Per from IGN, by the way, and introducing us to the IGN team at large and having that faith and that trust in Indie Mania as a product to host Indie Mania on your IGN YouTube channel, because that allowed us to have a platform that had exposure to tens of thousands of gamers tuning in over the last 3 days, and what surely via the a la carte video section will last for weeks and weeks to come, hopefully giving as many independent developers as many eyes as possible. So thank you, Per. Thank you to all at IGN that talked with Mike and I behind the scenes for the last several months. Next up, I have to give thanks to the individual content creators that were part of our co-streamer / content creator initiative. I had the pleasure over the last 3 days in tuning into your various streams of the event, and that includes Nintendo Land, Nintendo Talk, Nintendo Prime, Thunderstash Gaming, Game Junction, Ferris Wheel Pro, and Game Explain. And whether you were streaming for all 3 days, just 1 or 2 days, thank you so much. You know, what you brought to the show was something really cool and really unique because you have an intimate, real relationship with your audience. So you're able to talk with them and react live to the games that Mike and I were showing off. And your audience, as I read in the chat, were responding positively to this game and to this game. And you were hyped for this title and that title. And that's really cool for us to see. And trust me when I say, Mike and I have been talking to the developers behind the scenes, and you know how much joy it brings them, how much satisfaction it warms their hearts with when they tell us, hey, that was really cool. I saw a positive comment and that felt great. Like, it just gives me goosebumps thinking about it. It's really neat. You know, as a content creator myself, as a university professor myself, I appreciate that respect, that acknowledgement, that good job. And you might not get it from every single person, and not every game is for every person. But by and large, I saw a lot of positive comments. So thank you to all of the aforementioned. Thank you to Game Explain and IGN, and to Game Trailers. And going back that list one more time, Ferris Wheel Pro, Game Junction, Thunderstash Gaming, Nintendo Prime, Nintendo Dock, Nintendo Land, thank you all. And if there was anyone else that was streaming that I did not know about, then I also am grateful for your time. Special shout outs as well to a couple of our special guests, Kit Ellis and Krista Yang from Kit and Krista. I think that a lot of people were excited and surprised to see the two of you on day 3 of Indie Mania. So thank you for your friendship over the years and for being a part of Indie Mania, the very first one. Also, thank you to Roger DeLuigi III, aka Roger Space, for being a special guest presenter on day one of Indie Mania. Your friendship over the years also means a lot, and I'm really happy that you got to be a part of the first Indie Mania as well. A special thanks is owed to the following developers for giving us the opportunity to interview you. And by the way, if you want to see the more full interviews, because during Indie Mania you only saw a portion of it, but if you go to the Indie Mania YouTube channel, you could see the full-length interviews, including with Way Forward, where I went to their studio in Valencia, California, which is always a pleasure to go to, and have a cool interview segment with Voldy on campus. And then have Voldy and Adam come to the LA studio where Mike and I filmed the majority of Indie Mania and be a part of a cool segment with us. That was really unique, so thank you. Special shout out to SIBO Industries, Rodrigo, having me and you meet together in a forest-like area that highlighted your game, and you know that was filmed in a Los Angeles area, so that was pretty cool. And I know shout outs for that interesting, cool segment. And for both that Way Forward segment and that SIBO Industries segment and the recording of Indie Mania in the LA studio, thank you to David Rizavi for everything that you did, from holding the video camera to getting the lighting done right to holding the boom mic and making sure we all sounded good. Shout outs to Pikomi, whom we started talking with well over a year ago about your game, Bandit Trap, and being in the Netherlands and making sure that our times were working just right for all parties involved, and getting to highlight your titles and talking with you and having that awesome interview. It was really appreciative, super cool. And to Tribute Games, thank you. Once again, you know, from Canada to Los Angeles, there's a little bit of a time and space gap in between there, but I think we've had a really good time. Yannick got to show off some interesting games, some cool highlights from your company, a little bit of a tease here and there, a little speculation talk, and I just really had a fun time with your interview, with our discussion, and I just want to say I thank you again and appreciate it. Also, thanks to Red Deer Gaming for a cool segment that Mike presented on the show, a special package deal together with various trailers, cool looking games. It was a pleasure having you on board as well. Next up, I have to give thanks to a few of our sponsors. The first being First Four Figures. Thank you to Alex Davis and all at F4F for being a sponsor. You know, when I first reached out to Alex, the idea was just, hey, my friend Mike and I are putting on a show called Indie Mania. How would you like it if we highlighted First Four Figures in some way to help you out? Maybe give a little bit of a spotlight on an upcoming statue or your overall company. And when Alex responded back with, how about I actually give you guys some statues? I was blown away with that generosity. But that's the kind of friend that Alex Davis has been to me for the last 10 years. And he's super cool. All of you at F4F are really awesome. And that honestly added something pretty cool to Indie Mania, and having, you know, Mario on Yoshi statue, which you could see behind. I have one of them myself. And 2 Mario Kart statues. Really nice. So thank you, First Four Figures. And next up, thank you, Eric Koh and all at Udon Entertainment, who, similarly to the F4F story that I just shared, in the beginning, I just reached out to Eric, longtime friend of 20 plus years. Hey, how would you like it if you participated in Indie Mania somehow? You know, Mike Odyssey is putting on this show and I'm co-hosting, and we're putting together an event that highlights indie games, and I love Udon Comics. Maybe we could highlight your company, show off a new comic, whether it is something that you've done with one of our companies that we're promoting in Indie Mania, Way Forward, because Udon does Shantae comics, or something Street Fighter related, because that's how we got to know each other, or anything in between. And once again, Eric responded back with, how about we give you some stuff? Maybe some books, some comics, and then you ended up being so generous and giving us comic books, graphic novels, some art books, some pins, some t-shirt. Like, wow, really cool. And that's just testament to you, Eric, and all of you at Udon and your friendship with me. And I'm really grateful for that. And you added something really special as well to Indie Mania. And on that note, I will segue it into the super cool video package that we did with both companies. You could check out the First Four Figures sponsorship video actually on the First Four Figures YouTube page, X page, Instagram page, Facebook page, and Facebook sellers page of me introducing First Four Figures to Indie Mania. And you could also check out the really cool Udon entertainment sketch that I filmed in the mountains, dressed up like a certain world warrior. Okay, spoiler, Ryu. And, you know, in my karate gi, recording it, giving it a rough draft, and handing it over to Zach Hendricks, perhaps better known to you as Better Calf Zach. Sorry, Young Calf Zach. He is better than any Calf Zach. Young Calf Zach, or Zach Hendricks, as his name is properly, whom I met on the Nintopics podcast, which Mike Odyssey hosts. So I gave this video to Zach because I know he's a professional voice actor. He is used to working with celebrities and creating videos and using CGI. So he's super talented. Go ahead and give him a follow. That is Young Calf Zach, or Zach Hendricks Media on YouTube and X. And he put his passion, he put his energy, he put his skill into this, and you know, you'll see, sure you can, a special tribute right there of me promoting Udon Entertainment and their involvement in First Four Figures. And, Udon Entertainment in Indie Mania. And one of the reasons why this one is so special to me personally, even though it didn't make it into the main show itself that you watched in the last 3 days, but it will be available on the Indie Mania YouTube channel, for instance, is because of that 20-year plus friendship with Udon Entertainment and Eric Ko. You know, it was back in the April 2004 issue of Street Fighter Comics. Specifically, that was Street Fighter issue number 7 that Udon put me in it. So check it out. It's pretty awesome. What a trip. 2 decades it's been, you know. I'm in that comic book, and then that became something so proud, so cool to be a part of. And then from then, wow, just a 20 plus year relationship. So that was really neat. So I would hope that you would all check it out. And for that matter, you know, all of these companies, all these people, I hope that you follow on social media. So if you don't win a prize from First Four Figures or Udon Entertainment, I hope you still go to firstfourfigures.com and udonentertainment.com and go buy the statues or look at the statues, because F4F has a lot in store. Some of it's sold out, so maybe you missed it. But there's more stuff coming all the time from them. They're a really talented group. Go to udonentertainment.com and check out their comic books and their graphic novels and pins and t-shirts, because they've got a lot of stuff in stock, and they've always got more stuff coming out. Super talented artists and writers, and just awesome people in general, you know. Special shout out to GT Players for giving away several gaming chairs. Like, that's really neat. I have a nice chair myself, but I'm pretty sure that the GT Player chairs that you are all eligible for winning is going to be better than mine. So that's awesome. Take advantage of it. Maybe you need a chair for your desk. Maybe you need a chair for your dining room table, you know? And what would you be doing with a gaming chair at a dining room table? Well, maybe playing on your brand new Valve Steam Deck, which is another one of the prize giveaways that Mike Odyssey and I are giving away as part of Indie Mania 2024. That's pretty cool. Someone's going to win that Steam Deck. Someone's going to get 10 digital codes for 10 different games on it. And by the way, how do you get all this stuff? Well, you got to go to the Gleam link, sign up, put in your email address and stuff like that, and then you're eligible. So super easy, and best of luck to all of you winning. And not only that, But like, here's where, oh, I can't mention everybody because there's so many, but there are so many digital codes that so many of our companies that partnered up with us for Indie Mania are giving out to you. Like really cool games, a big variety of games. To the content creators, you're going to get some other games as well in time, but to the thousands of people watching, you are eligible via that Gleam link to win some codes and some of those other prizes. Comic books, statues, a console, chairs, games, like that's awesome. This is all a part of Indie Mania. And this is only the first one. You know, Mike and I got the first one down. And there's a vision for Indie Mania 2 or Indie Mania 2025, however you want to look at it, next year. So it's pretty exciting to think of that. You know, one of the things that we're toying around with that I just shared with Mike and the Nin Topics podcast the other night was to maybe have this bingo grid of like a, you know, if we have 90 games, for instance, have like this 6x15 grid, and live as a game would be being presented in Indie Mania, that little square would boop, show the game. And then if you liked that enough, you could click it on your smartphone or on screen, you know, digitally, and that would cement that title. Because how many of you were watching and you were like, that game looks cool, that game looks cool, but then at the end of the 1 hour presentation, you're like, what was the title? What was the name? And maybe you go back, maybe not. But this would be a way to, you know, categorize that and lock it into place in the here and now. So we might have something like that next year, and there's going to be even more. So anyways, that's just a little bit of a tease. Now you can see why this video was long-winded, but why it was important, because I wanted to thank everybody, or at least a good portion of people, for your time. And I really hope that you had a fun time watching our show. So one last time, thank you, Mike Odyssey. Congratulations for putting on an awesome event. I appreciate your friendship and you including me in Indie Mania, and I hope that my contributions were felt in the last, 14-ish months or something like that. And I'm looking forward to doing this again next year in less than a year's time. But we will get to that another time as we figure out the date and all of that kind of stuff. But it's not going to be in 12 months. It's going to be less than 12 months. I'll tell you that right now. And yeah, to all participating parties, congratulations. Mike and I really hope that this event helps boost up your sales, gives you that motivation, helps you keep going. Whether you were a younger studio with your first title, congratulations. Someone that has cranked out a few, congratulations. Someone that has made it to the top and still has that motivation and that energy, that drive, that passion after all these years to crank out more, congratulations. All right, this is Paul Gale Network signing out. Thank you one more time for everyone tuning in. Take it easy, and I'll see you next year. But in the meantime, I'll be on X and YouTube. And oh, how could I forget? Please give Mike Odyssey a like, a follow, a subscribe on YouTube and X. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, follow on YouTube and X, the Indie Mania channel. And please like, follow, subscribe Paul Gale Network on YouTube and X. It's all greatly appreciated. Okay, for more, go to indiemania.net also, because you're going to see updates there throughout the year. All right, now is my final bye. And I'll still be online, turning out videos and talking video game sales and stuff like that, and more on YouTube and X myself. PGN signing out. Bye, everybody.